Is up, everybody? Star Wars Dad back for another video. Today we're going to be looking at Sabine Green in our final part 3 of the Sabine videos to kind of compare this list to Sabine Yellow and Sabine Red and kind of make adjustments as we go. I don't really need to go into this deck too much. One of the biggest differences is that I have main decked Echo Base Defender back in. I just felt like it was helpful in the Boba matchup, and just it can also, I mean, it still has 4 power for a 3-drop, so like either way it's still going to be aggressive. um, but I just liked having that Sentinel in there just occasionally to slow things down and put 4 damage on a big threat in case I get behind, especially like in aggro mirrors. Other big changes, not really. It's pretty typical Sabine list. So we're just kind of to go through the list real quick. We're playing the 2 R2, which I guess some people don't play that, just to kind of help us cycle and dig for useful cards to close the game out, like Fleet Lieutenants, General Dodonna to pump things up, a K2SO to ECL in, Steadfast Battalion to kill like a Boba Fett, or a Guerrilla Attack Pod to close, and then things like Heroic Sacrifice, or For a Cause I Believe in, to close the game out as well. Just playing 7 events, 2, 2, 3. A couple of Rebel Assaults on the side. 3 SpecForce Soldier to get rid of Sentinel, which is very useful. And then everything else, you know, minus Echo Base. I think a lot of people have been taking this out, but I just felt like I've always liked it. I love this card. I think it's still a 4 power unit on turn 2, regardless of if you need Sentinel or not. So, and you can wing leader it and make it a 6/5, which is amazing as a Sentinel. So I think those are my thinking for putting it back in. And mainly for the Boba matchup, it's just really good because Boba has a hard time dealing with Sentinels. So if you can slow down the leader a little bit and make it easier to kill the leader, like especially like a battlefield Marine out or something, then you can just take that leader out and not have to worry about that every turn. It's also good for like boss because it puts it down to 1 HP, so like R2 can finish it off, or you know, something smaller can finish it off easier. Even Vader is going to take 4 damage, so Vader's going to have 3 life left. So it just kind of helps the math a lot. And Boba is definitely one of the tougher matchups for this deck. 3 fighters, play a good amount of red units. The 3 standard of Fleet Lieutenant and Wing Leader, of course. Everything else is pretty standard. Steadfast is obviously extremely important in the Boba matchup when you have your Sabine out to kill Boba Fett immediately. And having a 7/7 stick on the board is amazing. Guerrilla Attack Pod as a closer. This card is like okay. I always find myself just resourcing this card because I can't think of a game where it like helped me win. Not recently, at least. And yes, a red 3 and General Dodonna to kind of pump everything up. General Dodonna is just really, really nice in Sabine decks. If I were to play Sabine, this is absolutely a 3 of in just about every list. Definitely in yellow and green. Otherwise, it's pretty strong. Zeb is in there for the Sabine mirror matchup to just kill Sabine and then kill another thing, which is awesome. But let's get into some games and see how this deck performs. Carabas has gotten better, so I'm excited about that. Like the graphics look better, it's playing smoother, there's not as many bugs. So definitely they have been working hard to make that program better, which is great for testing and for recording. So, but as always, please like and subscribe if you enjoy my content. I greatly appreciate it. But without further ado, let's get into some games with Sabine Green. Alright, up against Blue Vader. Don't really love this hand. Wish I had like a green or Alliance A-Wing or a green squadron. Fighters is fine, but it's just probably gonna get removed. I think I'm gonna take my chances. And Schmulk better. Okay, so we're gonna go Alliance into red 3, so we can get rid of And Rogue. I think we just want a bunch of units against Vader. They're gonna kill our units for us, so we don't want to sacrifice our units. We want them to stay on the board, so unless it's like the end of the game. Okay. You always want to have a space unit against Vader in turn 1, so they can't force choke it. Okay, he already claimed the initiative, so we will deal damage. Pass. Hopefully we can Fleet Lieutenant here. If not, then we'll play 2 units. I would say it's gonna be the again. Yeah. So Green Squadron. R2. Like it at the top. Damage. Right, those. See what he does here. Open fire, yay. So we'll go Fleet Lieutenant. R2. No, that card's not good against Vader. Because it dies to getting pinged. Okay. Decent Sabine turn, not bad. Not bad. Steadfast isn't bad here, Fleet Lieutenant isn't bad. Second, yeah, I really don't want to get rid of another K2SO. Honestly, I think it's red 3, just because the chances of these units staying on the board is slim to none. I feel like a vanquish or a takedown is coming, so. See what he does, though. Yep, he played Force Choke, so we will play Fleet Lieutenant. Well, actually, no, we're gonna play red 3 now. Should have attacked first. That's fine. Okay. We're at 5. I don't really see a point in resourcing anything right now. Just keep as many units in our hands as possible. Okay, take down on red 3. Get in for damage. Should have Fleet Lieutenant there, but it's fine. We'll play Alliance. It's fine. And Wing Leader. So he's stay in space. 17. Don't need 2 Sabines here, probably. So we can. The thing is, though, we don't really need to resource anymore unless we see something in our hand that we want to have 6 resources for, which would be like 2 for cause I believe in. I mean, I guess we 1 Sabine just because it's a double. So we can go K2SO Sabine here. I don't want to overcommit to the board because Super Laser Blast is next turn. Okay. Yeah, get him for 4. He kills our Wing Leader. I should have attacked with Wing Leader first, but I didn't want to. If he's smart, he doesn't have anything left. What did he? Oh, he opened fire to that. Interesting. Okay. Alright, so Super Laser Blast. So the only thing we're playing here is kick. Because it's the only thing that makes any sense to play. Because if he kills it, we just do 3 damage. He's gonna kill Alliance, I guess. Yep. Yeah. And then we ping. So now we just need really just need yeah, we're gonna play this just to, oh, he can kill them both with Vader initially, right? So there's really no point in playing it. We can play Steadfast next turn. There's a for a cause, and we can just win this turn. Doesn't play something else. We're at 6. Is there any reason we want to be at 7? For a cause. Battlefield Sabine. I honestly don't think so. I think as long as he doesn't life gain us, yeah, we're just gonna play a for a. Okay. And that is how you beat Vader. Alright, first one here is up against Vader Blue. So, want to play as many units as possible. I like our hand. Definitely get rid of the attack pod. And, oof. That's an easy choice. The other choices are hard. We're definitely not getting rid of for a cause. For a cause is huge. I really don't want to get rid of R2 because we can play 2 units next turn. I mean, this is just all about playing units. I think it's gotta be Green Squadron and just hope we draw a 2 resource unit. So we definitely want to play Green Squadron here. It's a great turn 1 play because they cannot force choke it. Okay, I guess our opponent's resourcing. So we're going to play Green Squadron and claim the initiative. Unless he claims the initiative. Okay. Not too worried about that. So if we draw it, I mean, I almost think maybe I should have just got rid of red 3, actually. Yeah. In retrospect, because Green Squadron's really good. And any ground unit I play is just gonna get smacked. I mean, at least R2 can take a hit, but yeah. Fighters is fine. It can take a hit, I guess, but then he can ping it with Vader. Yeah, I should have kept Green Squadron. What's going on right now? How's he activating that if we... What is going on? I'm still trying to figure out how he did a damage to me if he hasn't played a unit. We're gonna stay up in the air as much as possible. Also, it costs a resource. So how did he do a damage to my Green Squadron? Was that? Oh, that was last turn. There we go. Just trying to figure out what's going on here. Waiting for opponent. Okay, what did he do? He claimed the initiative. Okay, we'll definitely deal damage then. And pass. Resource. Sabine is good. We're on turn 4 here, so we can play Fleet Lieutenant R2 or Fighters R2 or For a Cause R2. I definitely think we want to play Fleet Lieutenant just to get in for as much damage as possible. Okay, so we go in Fleet Lieutenant, Green Squadron, swing in for 5 before he kills the Green Squadron. He's gonna kill the Fleet Lieutenant, so it doesn't really matter. Well, he already attacked with Death Trooper, I guess. We're gonna play R2 first. Ooh, that's a good card. Then we're going to deal damage. I'm guessing he's probably playing Takedown here. Totally fine with him just killing it. I don't care. Yeah, I don't care. Can walk right into it all day. Take the initiative all day. Do not care. Alright, what's the best thing to do here? I think we're going Fleet Lieutenant first because he has a way to kill it right away. Whereas, like, if he plays the Power of the Dark Side or something else, we can just choose the weakest thing. Yeah, that's a thing. That is a thing. Go face, get him for 3. I'm sure he's going to take out Fleet Lieutenant here, right? No, he went face for some reason. We are going to go face. I'm not worried about. That's actually really good. Yeah, it's fine. So we're at 22. He's at 1 resource here. We are going to play Metal Ceremony. Choose up to 3, yeah. They've all attacked. Then we're going to ping. And then play fighters. And pass. Nope, we just want to play fighters into for a cause is the game plan here. And then try to get in for at least 2 attacks. So he can kill our Green Squadron. Just fine. Fleet Lieutenant represents the most damage. Green Squadron will get him for 4 if he doesn't. Okay. So we go Green Squadron first. Then we have Fighters for Freedom. I think we're in good shape here. I mean, he could force choke our fighters, but we should have this one about wrapped up. He's going to attack. Yeah, if he doesn't have removal, he's just out of luck. Well, there you go. Bada bing, bada boom. Alright. Boba blue. I think Wing Meter's not the greatest. Just go along cause to Dodonna, I guess. I don't know. I want to get rid of Steadfast. Pass on Metal Ceremony for right now. Okay. More control. More control, more control. So much. Been playing against control all day today. Dodonna's not going to be that great if they keep removing everything. turn 4. So we're gonna go pretty wide here. They do have Super Laser Blast in this deck, though. That's good. Alright, 8 damage is not the worst ever. Metal Ceremony is pretty good. Don't do. Steadfast is good too, though, to take out Boba. Man, this is tough. I think we gotta let Fleet Lieutenant go. Metal Ceremony is just too good when we were this wide. So they flip Boba here, like. Steadfast is really good right now too. Okay. And if they don't flip Boba, then we just play for a cause and set up our next couple of turns. Death Trooper doesn't kill anything. Okay. What do you do 2 damage to? Oh, rip that. Okay, so then we're just gonna action in, Steadfast. Yes. That, boom. Take out Boba immediately. Felt really good. Okay. I think our opponent's Boba turn was about as bad as it can be. So they did not kill anything on our board. I think they are, yeah, I was gonna say, I think they're done. Because there's not anything they could do at that point. Like, just, that's ideally how you want that matchup to go, is just wait for Boba to come out instead fast. Obviously, if they get it out sooner, it doesn't go as great, but they can't because they're playing blue in this particular deck, so that's one of the disadvantages of playing blue. But yeah, I mean, we would have attacked in and then played Metal Ceremony on Steadfast, Fighters, and Sabine. And then played for a cause next turn, and you know, I don't think there's much they could have done. Okay, up again. Inquisitor Green. Do we have a turn 1 play? Yeah. So no mulligan. I think we're gonna go the route. So get rid of this and attack mod. Well, he can't. Sure can't ping that. I'm guessing this is like a Vader version. Yeah, not gonna deal too much damage to them because they have a 30 HP base and they can play aggressive as well. Got a 3. See what they do here. Okay, he went straight face. Well, we're gonna go in before they do anything to kill it. Okay. He attacks it, that'll make it have 4 power. So let's stay up in the air. Yeah, they can play aggressive too, which doesn't feel the greatest. We're gonna put the metal now with the damage, and then we'll save it until the end of the game. Yeah, we're already behind quite a bit. What just happened? Oh, he killed his other guy. That's interesting. What happened? I'm so confused what just happened. How did he get 10 damage? Oh, he readied. Why did it disappear though? So confused. What just happened? Somehow he took 3 damage? Sorry, I have no idea what just happened. How? So I've taken 3, 5, 8. I shouldn't be at 8 damage. Should be 3. I pinged twice. Or he attacked in. Okay, he readied the unit. Okay, I see. But this shouldn't be ready. Yeah, okay. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to figure out what in the hell just happened. I think fighters is probably out. EO? Alright, we have the initiative. Are we just catching up? So let's just go here first for 3. Take our 4. No. Okay, so we can ECL and kill the 5th brother, which I think is good. I think that's a good idea. So he can't swing in for 4 himself. So we got in for 5, okay. That's not a force unit though, so we will just get rid of 1 fleet lieutenant. Okay. What? Undid their last action, okay. Yeah, I was about to say that's not as good. Because we killed the thing. Okay, he readied that. Okay, we're gonna go there. If he kills K2SO, that is fine. Sweet. Totally okay with that trade all day. Now I'm going to just ping, ping, ping. Alright. Good game. There's no way he can stop us here. I don't think so. We have Fleet Lieutenant or for a cause. So I think our big play there was the ECL into his 5th brother, whatever it's called. Oops, sorry. Yeah, I mean, he sees the writing on the wall. We have 3 units on board, and then Fleet Lieutenant or for a cause, I believe in, to close things out. So. All right, that was a good one. Okay, so back for the post-game wrap-up and kind of to conclude this comparison of these 3 decks after pretty extensive testing for the past week on all 3 of these decks. Just to flat out be honest, like this is not a deck I would play. I think it has a huge target on its back, so everyone has kind of figured out how to beat it. They know what to look for. They know what to expect. That's kind of why I put the Echo-based Defender back in there, because that is a card that hasn't been in the list as much lately. But I think what I like so much better about yellow are a few things. So here's my updated yellow list, and I'll put a link to in the description to this list as well. I did change it around a little bit since the video, after kind of talking about the deck with one of my buddies who plays the game, and I think Spark of Rebellion needs to be in the main board. Now, I'm not sure if he's playing it in the main board, but for me, I love it because what it does is in the Boba Fett matchup, I'm looking like on turn 3, turn 4, if I have the initiative, I'm looking for their Overwhelming Barrage. I'm looking for their Traitorous. I'm looking for their Fett's Fire Sprays. I'm looking for their Darth Vaders. I'm looking for all the things that can just take over the game and beat me. So it is incredibly important. In a sideboard against Boba Fett, I'm bringing this card in. I love Surprise Strike in this deck because it is like another Fleet Lieutenant. And it's even better because it's +3, so it's really good at closing the game out in combination with Heroic Sacrifice, Fleet Lieutenant. And then I also love the Falcon, which comes into play ready to attack and is another 3 damage. So this deck just does a better job of like continuously putting damage on the board. Not to mention you have 4 cards I believe in, and I kind of talked about it. I have like 45 cards in this deck that are Rebels, that have the Rebels heroic symbol in them, right? So I'm going to get 4 damage 98%, 95% of the time with 4 cards I believe in this deck. So if I was going to play Sabine, this is absolutely the list that I would play. I did also add in a Zeb in the side for the Sabine matchup because there's going to be a lot of those if you're playing this deck. Chewie's in there for, just kind of depends. I can't really say like specific matchups that I would use Chewie. It's more like decks where I just feel out the flow of the game in game 1 and decide if Chewie feels good. It's kind of hard to describe. Spark Rebellion is coming in against Control, even though we have a favorable matchup, especially with 2 Sparks already in the main board. We still are bringing in that 3rd card and the Wolf just so they can't gain life. And then we're probably against Control taking out probably Metal Ceremony and Heroic Sacrifice for sure, because we don't want to kill our own units, and Metal Sacrifice or Metal Ceremony barely gets to be activated because they're killing our units so much. So going back to this list, like, when I talk about the yellow list and compare it to this, it doesn't have as many of those things, right? It has Fleet Lieutenant to get in for damage. It has Steadfast Battalion, which has Overwhelm and can become a 7/7. But like I said, everybody's expecting you to have Steadfast Battalion on turn 4. So they're either going to take out Sabine so that it doesn't become a 7/7, or they're going to attack into Sabine or barrage Sabine. It's very rare that I actually get to come in with a Steadfast at 7/7 if I'm playing against a good opponent. I feel like what this version, and we're talking about the main board, okay? We're not talking about the sideboard. Obviously, the sideboard has U-Wing, which is great. But that's, against Control, you already have a favorable matchup against Control. So that's not really your concern. Your concern is playing against Sabine Yellow and playing against mirror matches, which is not really a skill gap. Like, there's not any cards right now that are available that can help widen the skill gap in a mirror match with Sabine Green versus Sabine Green, or Sabine Green versus Sabine Yellow. And honestly, I think Yellow's just also advantages, has 30 HP. And Sabine Green, you really want to play ECL because you want to, take advantage of that. And that really matters in these kind of matchups, especially in this deck, which I think is more aggressive. So, honestly, throughout playing with this deck, I did not enjoy this deck at all. Like I said, I hadn't really played it because everyone was playing it, but I did not enjoy this deck. This is probably the worst that I have performed playing a deck of all the decks that I've done videos on. At least on Carabast, because obviously Force Table is different because AI makes misplays all the time. But yeah, it just didn't feel good. It didn't feel like a deck I would ever play. So those are my thoughts on it. Obviously, there's going to be better Sabine Green players than me and people that enjoy this deck and are better with this deck. And it's still one of the top decks in the format. I'm not saying that it's not. I'm just saying it has a huge target on its back. And I don't ever want to play a deck that has a huge target on its back, because then everybody's just ready for you. You're walking in the dark in some matchups. You're like playing against eyed in blue, and you're like, what am I up against? And they're like, oh, here's a Sabine Green, got this one down. It's just like it feels like everyone has an advantage over you because they know exactly what you're trying to do and they are prepared for it. They made their deck to beat you. Like all my other decks that aren't Sabine are made to beat this deck. So that's just kind of my thoughts on it. It's not a deck I would be playing right now. Maybe after the next set, if they get some more help. I think there was one card in particular that I thought would be really good in here that me and my buddy were talking about. Wrecker. Wrecker would be sweet in here because it's 6 resources. It's a 7/6, so you can ECL it. It has Overwhelm, and when you play it, you may defeat a friendly resource. If you do, deal 5 damage to a ground unit. So you can wipe out 2 units when you ECL with this thing, and it has Overwhelm and 7 power. It's a 7/6, so it's not easy to kill either. So I think this is going to be a staple in Sabine Green, and I think this is going to be the card that replaces Gorilla Attack Bot immediately. And I do think that that will help this deck get better. So if you don't, I'll post a picture of Wrecker so you see what I'm talking about. But I think with the next set, this deck could get a little better. But where it's at right now, I'm not playing it personally. I totally get it if you're a Sabine Green player and you're like, that's my deck, don't talk about it. But I mean, we all have different strengths as players. And for me, I'm more inclined to play mid-range like Luke Green or like Control. If I was going to play aggro, this is it. This is the deck I would play. I think this deck it's extremely aggressive. It has more HP. It has Spark of Rebellion for mid-range and control. Not that you really need the help in control, but you definitely need the help in Boba matchups. Um, so that's my thoughts. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I definitely am enjoying Carabas so much better now. It feels so great. The graphics are great. And but as always, y'all have a good one and peace out.